So let's start with the headline everyone's been waiting on. Micah Parsons is officially back with the Cowboys. Yep, after all the buzz about his absence from OTAs, he's now in the building for mandatory minicamp. But here's the thing. Just because he's present doesn't mean we're going to see him in action. He's already passed his medical check, which is step 1. He said he would show up, and he kept that promise. But if you're expecting to see number 11 out there, flying around the field this week, you might want to slow down, because all signs point to Micah not doing much on-field work, if any at all. Let's be real. He's still without a long-term contract, and it wouldn't make sense for his camp to risk anything at this stage. Even though minicamp is non-contact and doesn't involve pads, injuries can still happen. His agent, David Mulugeta, knows that. And with so much at stake, especially for a player who's been the heart of this defense, every rep is a business decision now. That said, his presence still matters. A lot. By showing up, even if he only takes mental reps, Micah is sending a strong message to the team and the fans. He's staying connected. He's not turning his back on the locker room. And that leadership, even without physical participation, carries weight, especially with young guys watching him closely. Now here's where I want to hear from you. If you were in Micah's shoes, would you take part in any drills at all? Or would you play it safe and keep it limited to meetings and walkthroughs? Drop your take in the comments, and let's put it to a vote. Should Parsons sit out all on-field work in minicamp? Yes or no? Also, if you're enjoying this kind of Cowboys coverage, hit that subscribe button. We're pushing hard toward 14,000 subscribers, and you can help us get there. Like the video too, it really helps. All right, let's keep going. There's a major question at linebacker with Overshown still out, and we've got to talk about who's stepping up. There's a real battle brewing at linebacker, and it's one that could define how this Cowboys defense holds up early in the season. With DeMarvion Overshown still recovering from that ACL injury, he's not expected back until around Thanksgiving, week 13, to be exact. So yeah, we're talking about a long road ahead without him, and that leaves a massive gap next to Marist Liufau in the starting lineup. The question now is, who fills that role? During OTAs, all signs pointed to Jack Sanborn being the front-runner. He's familiar with Matt Eberflus's system from their time in Chicago, and that gives him a big leg up in terms of scheme fit and communication. But now that we're heading into mandatory minicamp, is he still the guy? Keep an eye on Kenneth Murray. Remember, this is a former first-round pick, and the talent has always been there. The question's been consistency and injuries, but minicamp could be the perfect chance for him to show he's ready to finally put it all together. He's got the physical tools, and if the mental side starts to click in this new system, things could get interesting real fast. And then there's DeMarvion Clark. Not as flashy, but here's the thing. Brian Schottenheimer mentioned him by name in a press conference last week. He pointed out the bond Clark is building with linebackers coach Dave Borgonzi, and that's not nothing. Coaches don't drop names like that by accident, especially not this close to training camp. So, is Sanborn still the safe bet, or are we about to see a shakeup? Let's open it up to you. Who do you want starting next to Liufau if Overshown can't go? Sanborn, Murray, Clark, or maybe someone else you've got your eye on? Sound off in the comments, and let's do a quick poll. Do you feel confident in the Cowboys' linebacker depth right now? Yes or no? And hey, if you haven't already subscribed, now's the time. We're breaking all of this down daily, and we'd love to have you on the ride to 14,000 subscribers. Up next, there's some real buzz around the quarterback room. Let's talk about Joe Milton and what's really happening behind Dak Prescott. Now let's talk about a storyline that's quietly becoming one of the most intriguing battles in camp. QB2, Joe Milton, has been getting some serious attention, and if you watched OTAs closely, you probably noticed why. He's not just making throws, he's leading. He's owning the huddle, showing poise and stacking good days. That's exactly what you want from a backup quarterback, especially when you're sitting behind a franchise guy like Dak Prescott. What's interesting is that the backup spot hasn't always been clear-cut in Dallas. Remember last year? Even with Trey Lance on the roster, it was Cooper Rush who kept beating him out at practice. Just because you're a high-profile name or a trade acquisition doesn't mean you're guaranteed anything in this system. That's why Milton's rise matters. He's clearly ahead of Will Grier right now, and that says a lot. Grier's no slouch. He knows the playbook, he's been around, and he's shown flashes. But Milton's combination of arm talent and command is starting to separate him. You can feel it when he drops back. The ball just jumps out of his hand and more. Importantly, he's learning to make smart decisions. That's always been the big question with him. Can he be consistent, especially when the pressure's on? Minicamp will be a key checkpoint. It's not full contact, and it's not game speed, but it's where you show. Whether you're processing fast enough to handle the real thing when it hits in August. Milton doesn't need to be perfect, he just needs to keep stacking wins. What do you think? Should Milton be QB2 heading into training camp? Or do you still think Grier or even Trey Lance could push him with more reps? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're at it, hit that like button if you think this could finally be the year Dallas finds a reliable, long-term backup for Dak. We're keeping an eye on every position battle this week, but none are quite as competitive as the wide receiver room. Up next, let's break down why Jalen Tolbert is the name you need to remember, and who's pushing to steal his spotlight. All right, wide receiver is always a hot topic in Dallas, and this year feels no different. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens seem to be building some real chemistry, which is great news for the offense. But the real battle to watch is for that crucial WR3 spot, and right now it looks like Jalen Tolbert is leading the pack. Tolbert put up solid numbers last season, over 600 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. For a number 3 receiver, that's more than respectable. It's not flashy, but it's reliable production, and that's what the Cowboys need to keep defenses honest. He's got a chance to step up even more this year, and minicamp is the time to prove he's ready to handle more responsibility. But don't count out Jonathan Mingo just yet. This guy has talent and could really shake things up if he shows out during these practices. Plus, Ryan Flournoy has been talking about the depth on the roster, and that means the competition is heating up. The Cowboys don't just want a warm body for WR3, they want someone who can make plays consistently. There's also a chance we could see other names pushing into the mix. The depth chart might look set now, but minicamp is when players can surprise everyone, showing coaches they deserve more snaps. That makes this position battle one of the most exciting to watch because it could impact the entire offense. So what do you think? Is Tolbert your guy for WR3, or are you rooting for someone like Mingo or another sleeper? Let me know in the comments who you think will come out on top. Also, do you believe the Cowboys have enough depth at wide receiver to make a serious playoff push this year? Yes or no? If you're enjoying these breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're getting closer to 14,000 subscribers, and your support means everything. Up next, we're diving into a topic that could shake up the entire offense, the offensive line, and what moves might be coming. Stay tuned. Now, let's finish strong by talking about the offensive line, because any changes here can completely change how the Cowboys' offense runs. We've seen some hints during OTAs with Cooper Rush getting snaps at guard, which was a bit unexpected. That kind of experimentation makes you wonder if the coaches are seriously thinking about shaking up the line beyond just replacing Zach Martin, who obviously retired. Right now, Tyler Booker is expected to step into Martin's spot, but if the Cowboys continue to test different alignments through minicamp, that could signal bigger moves ahead. The offensive line is the foundation for both the running game and protecting Dak Prescott, so any change has to make sense. It's a delicate balance between keeping continuity and finding the best combinations on the field. Minicamp is the perfect time for coaches to try these things out without full contact or live game speed. If something looks promising, we might see it carry into training camp and even the regular season. And if not, well, it's better to experiment early and figure things out before games count. I want to know what you think. Are you open to the Cowboys making some bold moves on the offensive line? Or do you believe keeping the line stable, minus the Martin, replacement, is the best path forward? Hit the comments with your take, and don't forget to vote yes or no on whether you think Cooper Rush at guard could actually work. If you've been enjoying this deep dive into the Cowboys' mini-camp storylines, please subscribe and ring that bell. We're so close to 14,000 subscribers, and every like and share helps the channel grow. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the latest news and analysis. Thanks for sticking with me through this preview of the Cowboys' mandatory minicamp. Now, let's all look forward to seeing how these storylines develop on the field, and I'll catch you next time with more Cowboys news.